Hey guys, it's Appleminte. Welcome back again to my channel. I am back this week. I was sick all last week and basically out of commission, so I was a little bit behind on work and was too sick to film a video, but I am back now and back to my normal schedule. So thank you guys so much for being patient. For today's video, I really wanted to do something with flowers because I don't think I've done anything with that yet, and I think it's really fitting for the springtime. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Cacao Games. They're bringing to us a new game called Moonlight Sculptor based on the novel The Legendary Moonlight Sculptor. In the game, you can become victorious in weekly tournaments and claim your crown and epic rewards as champion. Not in the mood for a fight? You can also decorate your home, cook some food for buffs, go fishing, or craft your own weapons and armor. You can also collect fragments to craft sculptures, which can be placed in your house for buffs. From pets to mercenaries, there will always be a trustworthy companion to accompany you on your adventures. The game can also be played in sleep mode, where you can still get loot and XP while offline. Pre-registration for the game ends on May 24th, so please be sure to use the link in my description to sign up for the game to receive exclusive skins for your character as well as other benefits and items that will help you start your journey. You can also join the Moonlight Sculptor community on Discord and Twitter, which I will have the links for in the description below. So thank you again to Cacao Games for sponsoring today's video. So for the first girl, I wanted to base her off of sunflowers. And I just really like sunflowers in general, but also I wanted a really warm feeling for this first piece. And I think sunflowers really speak summer, and just overall all of the colors are very warm, and so that's why I wanted to do that for the first one. And you'll notice that for her pose, I am zooming into her a little bit more, I guess you could say. I'm doing kind of like a waist up rather than a full body. And I do really like doing a thumbnail sketch to kind of make up the entire outfit and then fit as much of it as I want into the piece because, you know, I think it kind of gives you a sense for what I'm going for here for the design, but I don't always want to confine myself to have to fit the whole body in the drawing. Sometimes it's nice to make it a little bit bigger, fit less into the piece, but focus more on some of the smaller details. And in this case, I was able to do a little bit more detail on the face, the hair, things like that, that I really wanted to be the focus of this for this piece because I put a lot of effort into making her hair really full and voluminous, and I just really enjoyed her facial expression and all that as well, and so I was happy I was able to put some detail into that. I originally drew this facing one direction, and then I figured, you know what, I'm gonna flip her, so if you see it just completely flipped there, that's why I changed my mind halfway through and flipped her over. But anyway, yeah, I really wanted to do something that was very warm, and I wanted to make her design kind of give off somebody who loves to spend tons of time in the sun. She's very sun-kissed, if you will. She's got a big sun hat. And so, yeah, I really like her design. Originally, I was going to make an OC when I sat down to draw her. I just wanted to draw a character up. And then as I was drawing her, I realized that she'd be a great candidate for this video because I have been wanting to do this for a while. So I figured, why not? Why not use her for this? So that's kind of how I came to doing this video for this week, is because, yeah, I just wanted to do this eventually, and I just happened to start sketching her up and figured it would make for a nice video. But anyway, I also, with these character designs, wanted to make them not completely human, so you'll notice that she's got big bunny ears. I thought that would be cute with this, and I made them white to contrast from the color of her skin and her hair, so they really stand out. So originally, also you'll notice for her top, the fringe at the part of her top, that top part, was white, but I decided to change it to the same golden color of the sunflower because as I was looking at it, I was like, this kind of looks like petals, and I think it was kind of dumb to have the colors reversed. Like, I had the top white and the bottom yellow before, and I was like, why am I doing that? Like, this literally looks like sunflower petals, so then I reversed them, and I think this makes a lot more sense. Another thing that I've been trying to do, which I've said in countless videos now, I think, is I'm always trying to improve my coloring digitally in different techniques. And so again, I wanted to use some blues in some of the darker areas for the shading, specifically in her hair and in her skin and a little bit in her hat, though it's kind of a little bit more subtle in the hat. And I think just these little improvements, every video that I do, I'm trying to make sure I incorporate these new techniques, well, new to me, I should say, techniques that I wasn't doing before. And I'm really happy with my progress that I've been doing so far this year. This is kind of a tangent, I guess, but I think it's good to talk about because progress is something that is always happening, even if it's just small things each time that you sit down to try to improve something. For me, particularly with digital art right now, I'm focusing on learning some different techniques with shading and coloring. And so yeah, in terms of just little details like that, for me that feels like an improvement because that was something I wasn't doing before. And I was noticing that really adds a lot, even though it's subtle. And also you'll notice that the line art got a little bit more serene looking, and that's just because I like to duplicate the line art layer and then add a Gaussian blur to the second one, so it makes it a little bit more glowy, like a soft line art look. Anyway, I went ahead and I added all the lighting effects and a little bit of extra warmth to it, and that is my sunflower girl. So I hope you like her, and now on to the next one. So for this next girl, I am designing her based off of a completely different color palette and feel, as I normally like to do with these videos. I don't want anything too samey between the two designs that I do. And for this one, I asked a few friends on Discord for some flower suggestions, anything that would really be different from a sunflower that might be fun to do. And one of the suggestions was for a lily of the valley, which I will put on screen so you know what I'm talking about. I don't think it's a very common flower, but if you have played Animal Crossing, then you'll have definitely seen or heard of this flower, which I believe shows up on your island once you get a 5-star rating, which I have not done, so I don't have any of these on my island, but that is pretty much the only reason why I know about this flower. I just kind of feel like it's the Animal Crossing flower in my head. But anyway, this flower I thought was really cute because it's pretty different. It wasn't something that immediately came to mind when I was thinking about flowers to do, so that's why I decided to go with it. And you might have seen me doing a sketch a little earlier on her for a skirt that kind of mimicked the shape of the flower itself, but I decided to scrap that because I didn't really like the direction it was going in. It didn't really have the feel that I wanted for her. I wanted her to have a very shy, cutesy look because the flowers, they kind of droop over and they hang down, and the feeling I was getting when I was looking at them was just like something very shy and to itself, if that makes sense. I don't know. I look at a flower and that's what I see. So that's why I wanted her design to also be very cutesy, and so I decided to go with a very frilly kind of dress and then add a little sweater and some ribbons and a beret on top. Just something very cute, and also adding the sweater gave me more opportunity to be able to add some extra color to this because there's not much color when you look at a lily of the valley. It's just white and it's got the green stem, so I decided I did not want this to all just be white. I thought that that would be a little too boring and a little too plain. So I added in the green on her sweater, a very light muted green, and that's really to mirror the green on the stem of the flower. And then I also added in a very light brown color. And instead of making her hair completely white, again, like I didn't want it to be just white because her outfit's already white, so I gave it ever so slightly like a grayish, light brownish tint to it. So yeah, you'll see that a little bit more in detail when I color it in. You can see it on my little sketch on the side there though, but yeah, things like that. I don't like to make things just a plain color always, so when things are supposed to be white, sometimes I like to give them a little bit of a tint, otherwise I feel like it looks a little bit too flat and too boring. I don't know, that's just the way I like to color things, but I had a lot of fun with her design and I liked the direction that I took her in, whereas in the last one I was a little bit more up close. This one I fit her whole body in here, and I decided to go with a crouching down pose for her, as if she is about to pick some flowers, or she's just looking at them. And she's just overall pretty happy and to herself. That's the overall theme I wanted to go with for this piece. And I really like how she came out, and she's definitely very different from the sunflower girl that I drew. And for her animal that she's themed around is a goat. I gave her a little fluffy tail and ears, so I hope that comes across in her design. And for her specifically, I mean, I wasn't going to do backgrounds for either of these, but for her, since I said she's picking flowers, I felt that some kind of small background would be fitting. So you'll see me add in a very, very basic background. It's nothing detailed at all. It's just to kind of set the scene of where she is, because I felt like she needed something. But yeah, overall, I am really happy with both of these, and I'd love to hear what your opinion is of them, if you like this video, and if you want to see me do more floral things. And in general, I always want to hear your feedback for what you guys want to see, so always let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy it. That's how you let me know if you want to see more. And as always, I have all of my links in the description box below. The link to my online store, Patreon Pin Club, Discord server, and Instagram page, as well as all the links from today's sponsor as well. So please check all of that out. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I will see you guys all next Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time as always, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye!